Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to Krishna Kathamritam program. This is our Janmashtami pre-celebration program. As you all know, Janmashtami is on Friday, and there are a lot of preparations going on for Janmashtami. But we need to build that mood of devotion to celebrate Janmashtami, to welcome Lord Krishna, and celebrate with full joy and divinity. Today, we are starting Krishna Kathamritam program. This program is a program where devotees will read from Krishna book or Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 10 and present the beautiful pastimes of Lord Sri Krishna. With that, today we have two devotees who will be presenting. First, we have Prachi Mataji who will be presenting. Hare Krishna, Prachi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji and Hare Krishna everyone, all the devotees. And thank you Satyasara Prabhu and Jai Subhadra Mataji, Bina Mataji for giving me this wonderful opportunity to glorify the Lord and purify myself. So happy Janmashtami everyone, and let's get into the mood of Janmashtami pre-celebrations. Today the topic is the advent of Sri Krishna. In Bhagavad Gita 4.7, Shri Krishna said, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyudhanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. Whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharat, and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself. Krishna is always true to his vows. He descends to this material world just to protect the pious and destroy the impious and shower his utmost mercy to his devotees. His birth, his activities, his name, all are very transcendental. Since Krishna is eternal, most attractive and perfect in all the ways, his activities are also very satisfying to hear. Attentively hearing and sharing Krishna's pastime is an easiest way for us to advance in the spirit in spiritually. So with this, let's begin to the pastime. So once the world was overburdened by various demigods, by various demons, and the earth was it became very perturbed. At that time, Bhumi Devi assumed the shape of a cow and went to see Lord Brahma. With tears in her eyes, Bhumata related the calamitous position of the earth to Lord Brahma. When Lord Brahma heard her, he became very much aggrieved. And out of sympathy, Brahma, accompanied by Lord Shiva and other demigods, and also the cow-shaped Bhumi Devi, they went to the shore of the Milk Ocean, the Kshir Sagar, and where they offered prayers to please the Lord. They all Brahmaji meditated there and received the message which was transmitted by Lord Vishnu. And thereafter, Brahmaji broadcasted the same message to all the demigods. The message was that the Supreme Personality of Godhead would appear on the surface of the earth to mitigate the burden created by the demons. The demons, along with their wives, should appear there as the associates of Lord Krishna in the family of Yadu to increase the sons and grandsons in their dynasty. And by the will of Lord Krishna, Anantadev would also appear first as Balaram, and Krishna's potency AtmaMaya would also appear. Brahma informed Mother Earth and about all this, and then he returned back to his abode. So to enact this pastime, the story goes like this, that once upon a time, there was a king named Shursen. He was the leader of Yadu dynasty, and he was ruling over the country known as Mathura. His son Vasudev married Devaki. Just after the marriage, Vasudev was returning home in the chariot, and along with his newly wedded wife Devaki. Devaki's brother was Kansa. He decided to ride their chariot, and out of love for his sister, while he was driving the just out of love for his sister, he decided to ride the chariot. When he was driving, the chariot, suddenly there was like a loud noise sound, which is the Akashvani. And we said to Kansa that, Kansa, you are such a fool. You are driving the chariot of your sister and your brother-in-law, but you do not know that the eighth child of this sister will kill you. Kansa was the most demoniac of all the Bhoja dynasty kings. Immediately after he heard this prophecy of the from the sky, he caught hold of Devki's hair and was just about to kill her with his sword. Seeing this, Vasudev, he was very intelligent, and he diplomatically began to instruct Kansa. Vasudev said that it would not be good for Kamsa to kill his younger sister, especially at the time of her marriage. He advised the law of Kansa that every living being possessing the material body must die. Then why are you so afraid of death? The soul transmigrates from one body to another. Seeing that, but he was instructing Kansa, but when he saw that Kansa is not at all satisfied by his instructions, Vasudev offered him a plan. He said that just to save his wife, he told Kansa that I will myself bring all. You do not have to kill your sister. Devki is not going to do any harm to you. Vasudev said that he would bring all of Devki's children to Kansa so that Kansa could kill them. Then Kansa kind of agreed to this plan. He arrested Devki. He arrested Devki and Vasudev and put them in a prison. So later, six he start means Devki's had sons. She had they both had six sons. Kansa started killing all the six sons one after the other, and by the will of Supreme Lord, Yogmaya transferred the seventh son, who was no other than Balram, Anantadev, from Devki's womb to the womb of Rohini Mata. Now, the Supreme, yeah, Mataji, next slide, please. So this is the Anantadev in the womb of Rohini Mata. So next, now it was the time that Supreme Personality of Godhead appeared within the heart of Vasudev and transferred himself into the heart of Devaki to be born as their eighth son. And because the Supreme Personality of Godhead was present in Devaki's heart, during her pregnancy, she appeared effulgent and wonderfully beautiful. This started scaring. This started scaring Kansa, and now at this time, Lord Brahma, Shiva, and all the demigods appeared in the prison and offered prayers to Sri Krishna, who was in the womb of Mother Devaki. And now the very auspicious time of the birth of Sri Krishna came. All the planetary systems were automatically adjusted so that everything became so auspicious. The rivers were flowing full of waters, lakes were very beautifully decorated with lotus flowers. Flowers were full with beautiful birds, and the forests were full with beautiful birds and peacocks. All the birds within the forest, like they began to sing with sweet, sweet voices. They were so joyous, so happy and blissful. And all the peacocks, they began to dance along with their concerts. The Rohini Nakshatra, it was the Rohini Nakshatra, the auspicious Nakshatra appeared, and the demigods and great saintly persons showered flowers in a joyous mood, and clouds gathered in the sky and very mildly thundered, like making sounds like those of the ocean's waves. And then the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, appeared from the heart of Devaki in the dense darkness of night. Vasudev saw this wonderful child born as a baby with 4 hands, holding conch shell, club, disc, lotus flower. He was decorated with the mark of Srivatsa. He was wearing the jeweled necklace of Kaustubh's money, and he was dressed in yellow silken clothes. He was appearing like dazzling like a bright blackish cloud. He was wearing the helmet and beautiful bracelets, earrings, and various other ornaments all over his body. and he was beautified with abundance of like curly hair on his head. He was so beautiful. Vasudev was struck with wonder, and how could a newly born child be so decorated? He could therefore understand very well that Lord Krishna had now appeared. And over again, like Vasudev glanced at this child and he bowed down and offered prayers to the Lord. Devki Mata also offered prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna. And Mother Devki, she expressed her Vatsalya Prem and said, like, I understand that this is transcendental form. Form is generally perceived in meditation by the great sages, but I'm like very scared because as soon as Kansa understands that you have appeared, he might harm you. So I request you to conceal this four-armed form and assume the form of an ordinary child. Upon his mother's request, Sri Krishna assumed the form of an ordinary looking child. And then later, as instructed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva, he prepared to take his son from Kansa's prison to Nand Maharaj's house. And by the influence of AtmaMaya, all the residents of Kansa's palace and the doorkeepers fell into deep sleep. And all the palace doors opened. Next slide, please, Mataji. Thank you. All the palace doors opened, and although they were like barred with shackled with iron chains, everything happened automatically. The night was very dark, but as soon as Vasudeva took Krishna on his lap and went out, he could see everything just as in the sunlight. It was raining heavily, and Vasudev carried the baby Krishna on his head and crossed the Yamuna river. As we can see in this picture, since it was raining, Lord Anandev appeared, and Sheshnag, he served the Lord as an umbrella. The Yamuna river was also very full of joy that Shri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is here, and she was raising up and up. When Krishna saw that his father is in trouble because the water level was rising up and up, he just put his feet down from the basket, and Yamuna river, she touched the feet of Shri Krishna, and then she gave the path to Nand Maharaj, and he happily crossed the river Yamuna and went to Nand Maharaj's house, and where he exchanged baby Krishna with Nand Maharaj's newly born daughter, who was actually the AtmaMaya, and then he returned back to the prison. Nand Maharaj and all the Brijvasis were very, very happy to find out that baby Krishna has appeared in Nand Maharaj and Yashoda Maya's home. They all celebrated the birth of Sri Krishna very, very joyfully. And with that, thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. That was a very fantastic narration of the pastime of birth of Lord. That's a great start for our Krishna Kathamritam program. You beautifully narrated how Krishna appeared, why he appeared, and the reason he appeared. So that was very beautiful, Mataji, and very nice pictures. Could really visualize how it really happened. So thank you very much, Mataji, for that. Next, we have AtmaMaya Mataji, who will be presenting the next pastime of Lord Krishna. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Over to you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji, for giving me this opportunity. I would also like to thank Satyada Prabhu and Jesudha Mataji for giving me this opportunity to present this. I'm going to talk about the deliverance of Nakula and Manigriva from the Krishna book. So Nakula and Manigriva were the sons of treasure of demigod Kuvera, the great devotee of Lord Shiva, and Kuvera's material opulences had no limit. So these two sons were addicted to wine and women. So what happened is once they entered the garden of Lord Shiva in the province of Kailasa on the bank of Mandakini Ganges. So they drank so much and engaged in hearing the sweet singing of beautiful women who accompanied them in that garden of fragrant flowers. So all of a sudden, Narada Muni comes and they could not appreciate the presence of a sage. So usually when the spiritual master comes, we have to bow down and offer all our respects to him. But here it was just the opposite. So on seeing the two demigods so degraded by intoxication, Narada decided their welfare, and therefore he exhibited his causeless mercy by cursing them. They should remain for 100 years in the time of demigod in the form of trees, and after that they would be fortunate enough to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face by his causeless mercy. And thus they would be again promoted to the life of a demigod and become the great devotees of the Lord. So what are the lessons I learned? This is the attraction for material enjoyment is due to the increase of the mode of passion. So whatever we have in this material world, like we are not happy with it, right? Like if we have a good job, or if you have a good income, and you need to like more, you're always comparing with someone else or the other. And another thing has written, Prabhupada has written is, the favored with material opulence of riches, false prestige, people can become addicted to three things, like intoxication, gambling, and animal killing. And intoxication is also so bad. Like nowadays we can see like a lot of news coming up, like how the family is destroyed by the intoxication, and there's a lot of animal killing. There's also gambling. These are all a hindrance to spiritual progress. So, and we have that a false notion, like we think that we will never die. Why we can understand the ultimate goal of life. We think the human life is for us to live and enjoy according to our own means. So when we have this mentality, what will happen is we always glide down to the hellish conditions of life. So and we cannot understand that human body finally turns to ashes. And in this human life itself, sometimes we develop a hatred to somebody, we have jealousy to somebody, like then half of the time we'll be spending and earning money, taking care of our family, all those things. So we don't have time for the spiritual realizations. So we should understand that the body belongs to render service to Krishna, and it's not for one's own sense enjoyment. So, and in the Krishna book, Prabhupada was telling, like, to remain in a poverty-stricken condition is a kind of austerity. So false prestige due to advancement of material prosperity is a great impediment for spiritual emancipation. So Prabhupada gives example, like the Brahmins, they usually try to that no, they prefer like to be poverty stricken condition, so like earning whatever is required for them, and not and spending for the more, because they know that the anticipation of getting more and more is like no, they can degrade to a lower level. So they like they try to limit the anticipation of having more and more, and so they prefer to begging bowl also. So that's what they prefer. So Narada Muni curse was to make them the sons of Kuvera, Manigriva, Kuvera, to utilize the false prestige, and they want him to experience the life devoid of all opulences. So how can how will be life devoid of opulences? Because now they have everything. The father is providing them everything, and so they doesn't know the value of it. So this is what exactly we see in the material world. When parents are rich, the kids usually they don't understand the value, how hardworking the parents are doing. They like they're providing everything for the kid, for the shelter, then good education, then a nice place to like good bank balance, but they don't understand the how hardworking the parents are. But they're using that money for a wrong purpose, and sometimes going after the drugs, then hanging out with girls, and sometimes they doesn't know understand the value. Sometimes they are going by false friends, and they're not coming to the real status. They're not realizing why they are born and why this is body given to them. So they don't have association of a spiritual master, nothing. So they always try to degrade to the local level. So the great Sayadaw thought that this is fitted that all the brothers would be punishment to become trees. By his mercy, they could continue to keep the memory and be able to know why they were being punished. So usually we have millions of birth, but none of the time we don't remember what what mistakes we had done in the past birth, what a good karma we had done in the past birth. Like we don't know anything. So if we know that in our past, if we had done so many mistakes, at least now, like we won't be able to live peacefully in this birth, because we are always thinking, oh, why did I do this to them? Why did I do this? We'll be constantly in a worrying stage. So Krishna is so merciful that he's giving us that forgetfulness nature, so that we don't think about what happened in our previous birth, but we have given a fresh opportunity so that we can reach him by taking into spiritual path, associating with devotees, chanting, and doing various kind of devotional service is giving us opportunity. So we have to make the best use of it. So after the changing the body, living in detail forgets previous life, but in special cases, by the grace of the Lord, as with Nakula Manigriva and Manigriva, one can remember. So then Lord Krishna also knew that Narada was a great devotee, and the trees standing before him are the twin Arjun trees, actually sons of Kuvera. So I must now fulfill the words of my great devotee Narada, he thought. Then he proceeded through the passage between the two trees. So now the Krishna always try to fulfill his devotee's wishes. So even if anybody is fallen also, if he has a mercy of a devotee, Krishna will always try to save him. So we have experienced this in the past, like Bhishma Dev. Bhishma Dev told Krishna promised in the Mahabharata war that he will never lift up his sword, weapon. But Bhishma Dev promised that he will make Krishna lift the weapon. So just to the pressure of devotees, Krishna enacted that pastime of trying to take the wheel and trying to racing towards Bhishma to kill him, and Arjuna is trying to hold him back. So this is so Krishna always reciprocate to the feelings of his true devotees. That if someone by chance is able to see a great serenity person like Narada, who is always serene and merciful to everyone, that immediately that conditioned souls become liberated. So this shows that the mercy like how a mercy of a true Vaishnava can save us. So Jagai, Mate, and all, they were so fallen, but still by mercy of a guru, they were saved. So this is exactly like we situated in the full light of the sun. So if the sun is there, there cannot be any darkness. So therefore, oh Nala, Kuvera, and Manigriva, your lives have become successful because you have developed ecstatic love for me. This is your last birth with the material existence. Now you can go back to your father's residence in the heavenly planet, and by remaining in the attitude of devotional service, you will be liberated in this life. So, now, in this life ours also, like some of us came to Krishna consciousness very late, some came to Krishna consciousness very early, but still we still got the opportunity to chant and do devotional services, associate with the devotees. So so this human birth is we can guarantee if we do our services properly, we can go back to Krishna. So that sometimes we can get even if you don't go back to Krishna, nothing is going to waste. Even then you are born in a good family in your next birth, and you continue the service from where you left. So that is what the essence of the devotional service. It shows that it is so pure, it is so transcendental, and it can save any fallen souls and give them liberation and take them back to Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's all, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. That was a very beautiful narration of Deliverance of Nakula and Manigriva. and how they did not respect the spiritual master, and how they were punished, and how finally Krishna delivered them. And Mataji, very nicely you shared the lessons learned. Really like the point that you made, that this body is for serving Krishna and not for our own sense enjoyment. And we are here because we did want to do that. And also the point that, when there's so much of progress in material opulence, then that hinders the spiritual progress, right? So beautiful presentation, Mataji, and nice realizations. Thank you very much. With that, devotees, thank you all for joining the program today, Krishna Kathamritam. We will also have this program tomorrow and Wednesday. So tomorrow it's going to be same time, 7:30 to 8 o'clock. We will see you all tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.